Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the introduction. It's my great pleasure to be here today, and especially that only a few days ago, I think on 8th of October, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to John Hopfield and Geoffrey Hinton. This Hinton, who is often referred to as the godfather of artificial intelligence, and this Hinton who left Google to warn about the potential risk of the technology. The Nobel Prize recognizes Hopfield and Hinton foundational discoveries and inventions to have enabled machine learning with artificial neural networks. It's a really big thing. So these computational tools designed to mimic the functioning of human brain from the basis of various technologies, including image recognition, ChatGPT, which is one of the large language models, and even soccer playing robots, are overshadowed by the winner's real concerns about how artificial intelligence enables misinformation and manipulation of data. Also, in a recent development from maybe 3 weeks ago, the voice of the renowned and one of the most feared art critic, Brian Swiel, who passed away in 2015, was brought back to life through artificial intelligence to review a new Van Gogh exhibition in the National Gallery in London, opened until 19th of January, if someone would be interested. So this Sewell 2.0 not only captures his distinctive, trust me, very distinctive style, but also delivers his original critiques, which highlights the incredible possibilities and ethical dilemmas of, again, artificial intelligence in the arts and cultural sector. So I think that even these two recent cases perfectly capture the current sentiment toward artificial intelligence, which is characterized by both excitement and skepticism, or I would rather say a state of cautious optimism, where the balance between innovation and critique encourages, which is good, a more thoughtful and reflective approach to artificial intelligence, integration across various fields, including the museum sector. So after the publication of the Artificial Intelligence Value Statement by the Smithsonian Museum in spring 2022, which was a bold and practical move towards using artificial intelligence tools to describe, analyze, visualize, and aid the discovery of information from collections, libraries, archives, museums, and the Smithsonian museums, various museums. The Smithsonian also addressed the biases, right? The biases and limitations affecting the applicability and reliability of these tools due to the way they were developed. And maybe let's go to Europe now. Earlier this year, we saw the establishment of the European Artificial Intelligence Office as a central hub for AI expertise across the European Union. So there has also been a surge of interest in artificial intelligence within the museum sector. And this interest was particularly driven by recent discussions from various committees of the International Council of Museums, ICOM, for example, AVICOM, and the the network of European museum organizations, NEMO, and actually there was a huge conference organized in March 2024 focused on the intersection of museums and artificial intelligence. And these conversations are not merely theoretical, but are expected to lead to actionable recommendations for policymakers, ensuring that artificial intelligence is harnessed in ways that uphold the integrity of cultural institutions. While the recommendations serve as valuable starting point for policy making in the museum sector, they obviously require further development to be truly effective. And it's crucial that they are aligned with a more comprehensive understanding of artificial intelligence, not only from a theoretical or the phenomenological standpoint, but also in terms of its practical applications. And this deeper integration will ensure that the policies are both relevant and actionable in the context of artificial intelligence evolving role in museums. So the recommendations read that you can read them here, however I will try to summarize them quickly for you, that artificial intelligence in museums needs to be addressed and shaped so that technological developments do not simply reshape museums from the outside. Secondly, museums need financial investment, obviously, in infrastructure, equipment, and skilled staff to effectively use artificial intelligence. And high-quality data, metadata, and copyright resolution are crucial, as we actually saw in the previous presentation. And in addition, professionals must develop skills to keep up with artificial intelligence advancements and other sector-specific challenges. And furthermore, standing commitments to the cultural heritage sector should be expanded to ensure the quality and quantity of digitization required to actually buy cultural heritage data space and the European collaborative cloud. And thirdly, these recommendations also advocate for the establishment of a European AI innovation hub for cultural heritage. And I would like to maybe emphasize one of the sentence phrasing from the recommendation number 2, that museum professionals need adequate skills to perform these tasks, to keep pace with rapidly evolving AI capabilities, and to address sector-specific concerns. I think it's particularly urgent and requires careful planning, as the survey commissioned by the National Lottery Heritage Fund and carried out in June 2023 to research emerging uses of artificial intelligence across museums, galleries, libraries, and archives found that 65% of respondents had not even considered how they might use AI in the future. When asked about their confidence in finding any sort of information on training or training about AI applications, 40% said they were not confident at all. And only 7.2% felt very confident. And given the data, it is feasible for museums to take on proactive, thoughtful leadership in leveraging AI to pave the way for an AI-driven society, as suggested by NEMO. And perhaps museums should consider shifting from a leading role to fostering cohesive collaboration with external partners, focusing on bridging gaps between siloed operations of the two sectors through effective communication. And data clearly indicates that a fundamental understanding, I think that's the key point here, must come first before moving on to broader strategies for fostering digital literacy in an AI-driven environment and upskilling. And the prevailing need for a fundamental understanding of AI applications highlights that research publications such as the Heritage Fund Artificial Intelligence, a Digital Heritage Leadership Briefing, and the Arts and Humanities Research Council funded the Museum Plus AI Network, or a quite comprehensive list of museum case studies on AI usage, have not resonated within the broader sector, broader museum sector, despite their full accessibility. And this is a really interesting question to sort out, I think. Sorry? That those publications have not resonated with the broader museum sector, so there are still plenty of institutions, as the survey has illustrated, who do not plan any activity with artificial intelligence, or even don't know when to found training, whereas there are quite a lot of platforms for now where you might try to navigate funding sources and training resources, at least for very basic practical skills, to start with digitization or even try to understand basic principles of artificial intelligence. Any questions at that point? No? Okay. So also, maybe what's interesting, even university museums, where collaboration with academics from computer science, for example, might be facilitated within one institution, such as a university, which is supposed to offer access to artificial intelligence expertise and research, which would obviously potentially lead to new solutions without significant additional cost. This progress in piloting AI applications has remained limited in recent years. And despite the availability of the resources, with piloting integration of artificial intelligence in museum practices has not advanced as one may expect it, given the transformative context of other sectors. And funding does not seem a major consideration either. For example, when preparing one of the European Union recently funded Horizon Cluster 2 projects, which integrates digital technologies through collaborations with various tech institutions and museums as demonstration sites, during the proposal creation process with the consortium, we faced a notable lack of interest from invited museums, underscoring significant barriers that must be addressed to promote meaningful engagement with digital initiatives. And this situation underscores critical challenges in the museum sector, including resource constraints, a lack of readiness for new initiatives, lack of prioritizations or gaps in technical infrastructure and digital literacy, as evidenced by museums' reluctance to engage. And as you can see, diagnosing and addressing these issues is absolutely essential in fostering growth and innovation through meaningful participation in digital initiatives. And this highlights the need for museums to integrate digital literacy upskilling and AI education into their strategic planning, while also transitioning from a light touch approach to AI regulations, which currently relies, at least in the UK, on a non-binding framework for best practices, to a more robust regulatory strategies for collection holders. And for example, the United Kingdom government's AI Safety Summit offers optimism, while the regulatory framework proposed in the European AI Act by the European AI Office holds promise for guiding the museum sector through enhanced enforcement of the development and use of trustworthy artificial intelligence and fostering international dialogue. Given the data from National Lottery Heritage Fund survey, it has also become clear that the upskilling process, if happened, should be focused rather on the development of user applications than the method itself. AI evolves very rapidly, and it typically involves knowledge in fields like data science, machine learning, computer vision, and software development, which go way beyond what most museums professionals are trained for, or, as the survey showed, aware of. And one of the NEMO's recommendations is artificial intelligence in museums needs to be addressed and shaped so that technological developments do not simply reshape museums from the outside, but I believe that the external collaboration with AI specialists through creation of cross-functional teams is a more realistic approach to upskilling staff on user-centered applications of artificial intelligence. And this collaborative approach, respecting the highly specialized work streams, ensures that AI is integrated in a way that aligns with the museum's mission and address sector-specific challenges in further development. Also, supports informed decisions about staff hiring, because that's another problem that needs to be, I think, guided and sorted out. So this suggestion that I just described here is obviously very pragmatic, balancing the widespread lack of familiarity and awareness of artificial intelligence in the museum sector with the need for museums to become ready to actively shape how artificial intelligence is implemented, rather than being passive, right? Passive recipients of external technologies. And as a significant opportunity for upskilling and fostering digital literacy is an artificial intelligence-driven AI for Culture platform, which actually was launched and celebrated by our Europeana tech community less than 10 days ago. It's very new, so this platform presents a unique opportunity in the data space for cultural heritage and for the cultural sector as a large and great access and resources of diverse artificial intelligence tools and capacity building materials designed to empower museum and actually grow the reclam sector through artificial intelligence. So the platform's objective is to equip professionals, researchers, and enthusiasts with the necessary resources to seamlessly integrate AI into their daily works and daily workflows, discover creative applications, and tackle contemporary challenges. And at its heart, AI for Culture is designed to repurpose and customize existing digital commitments, which I think is very important here, making them more accessible and user-friendly for cultural heritage professionals. And the tools are packaged in an intuitive interface that ensures seamless integration, allowing institutions to adapt and reuse these tools without requiring extensive technical expertise. Also, this platform offers a wide range of data sets from the cultural heritage sector, all available under an open source license. And these data sets can be employed to train and test AI models, empowering organizations to customize and fine-tune the tools according to their specific needs. So the platform is organized in 3 main sections. First section is open source AI tools, which provides a suite of AI tools specifically designed for cultural heritage institutions to automate and optimized various tasks, including transcriptions, image analysis, subtitling, and metadata enrichment. So these tools are compatible with platforms like Europeana and Cultural Heritage Data Space. In addition, more than 15 tools from external providers that are relevant to cultural heritage tasks are registered on the platform and obviously complete with thorough documentation. Another section is cultural heritage data sets. So this section is designed for training, testing, and evaluating AI models, facilitating their customization and fine-tuning to meet the specific characteristics and needs of cultural sector. And the last but not least section is upskilling resources. So this part compiles a range of learning materials that accompany the AI tools and datasets, including articles, tutorials, and other resources that actually discuss practical applications of AI in cultural heritage. These resources aim to help users deepen their understanding and enhance their skills in applying AI solutions in their work. There's another opportunity featured on that platform, which is contribution. So the platform allows users to register new resources, providing an opportunity to raise awareness of their work, which I think perfectly addresses the problem that I described before, and contribute to the growing knowledge base in the field. So I hope that such well-balanced and suitable initiative will help counterbalance and relieve pressure, fostering a more resilient and adaptable environment for future growth. There are also voices cautioning against the hasty integration of artificial intelligence into museum collections without sufficient consideration for trust preservation, advocating instead for addressing existing issues with AI rather than using it for experimentation. However, this approach may exaggerate negative sentiments, fostering the perspective the AI is a destructive force rather than a supportive tool for digital scholarship, for open science, knowledge discovery and data mining, cataloging, classification, and metadata generations, or AI-driven support in the protection, restoration, and conservation of tangible objects. And being enhanced by growing European Commission and growing European Commission-based centers such as European Center for Algorithmic Transparency or European Artificial Intelligence Board, implementing AI through pilot programs and phased implementation seems to be a practical and balanced strategy. By starting with small-scale initiatives, museums, as a crucial part of our society, must experiment with artificial intelligence applications rather than passively wait to address the AI issues by other sectors. And of course, the experiment must be in a controlled environment, allowing to evaluate effectiveness, gather feedback, and refine approaches before broader rollout. And this interactive process helps mitigate risks and ensures that any integration aligns with the institution's mission and audience needs. And through these pilot programs, museums shall effectively engage in the ongoing dialogue about AI's role in society, contribute to adopting and developing ethical standards, and ensure that their use of technology enhances accessibility, education, and community engagement. And this proactive involvement will not only help museums adapt to the evolving landscape, but also, as the sector aspires, position them as leaders in the cultural sector's response to artificial intelligence advancements. And this means that museums should implement AI integration sustainably. So not merely as one of breakthrough projects for a case study, because we've seen it didn't work, hasn't worked so far as we wished it was. And I think that this effort should be a part of a broader, cohesive policy enforcement aided at all institutions holding public collections. Sustainable integration means creating frameworks that allow for continuous learning, adaptation, and collaboration across the sector. And this approach ensures that all museums, regardless of size and funding, can keep pace with technological advancements and societal expectations by active contribution to the holistic societal transition driven by the increasing application of AI. And regarding comprehensive education, a promising of the AI-driven transformation of the museum sector is the integration of digital humanities into museum studies through practice-based learning. So new generations of museums professionals will be equipped with the necessary technical expertise for AI-focused museum practices. For instance, my colleagues and I at the University of St. Andrews have recently launched the very first, the UK's first digital art history online program that explores how digital tools and methods can be applied to art historical research and museum studies. Our students not only study art history from computer-generated projects to artificial intelligence or digital tools for interpretation and analysis, but also learn modules such as data mining and information visualization, machine learning algorithms, complex systems modeling and simulation, data-driven systems, programming in Python, and combinatorial optimization. So this program is delivered jointly by the School of Art History and the School of Computer Science at St. Andrews. Because we believe that by equipping future museums professionals with skills in data mining, machine learning, and programming, institutions such as museums can enhance their research capabilities and streamline operations. And this interdisciplinary approach positions museums to adapt more efficiently to technological advancements, future-proofing the sector for the digital age. But even with the emergence of new age museum professionals and cross-sector collaborations, fully realizing the potential of digital initiatives still faces challenges. So the adaptation of new management frameworks such as Agile, for example, requires more than just procedural shifts. It demands a work practice transformation within entire institutions. So professionals need to embrace flexibility, continuous learning, and cross-disciplinary thinking, while institutions must foster an environment that supports collaboration across sectors like technology, academia, and industry. And I think that this holistic shift is essential to truly unlock the potential, the power of digitization, AI-driven data creation, and other computational methodologies within the museum sector. The National Lottery Heritage Fund survey across museum, galleries, libraries, and archives found that 24% of these organizations are already using AI. And among this, those familiar with its use, 41% reported using it primarily for future planning, which is very interesting, I would say. Usually the questions asked to AI were related to idea generation, and they were followed very closely by marketing tasks like content creation or editing. However, as we know, the potential use of artificial intelligence in the museum sector is endless, and each possible aspect of museum service is considered here. So from collections management, preservation and research, visitor experience to operations. The urgent need for extensive AI implementation in the museum sector stems from recent crises, such as war and climate-related events, which have necessitated the efficient management of collections and preservation strategies. So these challenges highlight the importance of AI in streamlining operations, especially when addressing long-term issues, like mass digitization of collections. So, for instance, despite being one of the world's most visited museums, the British Museum has thousands of objects lacking digital representations, such as even a photograph, not even mentioning 3D digital twins. And this gap becomes even more pressing in light of past collection thefts and the museum's announcement of prioritizing the digitization of its entire collection. And by linking high-resolution digital imagining with AI tools, museums can effectively generate digital replicas of their objects, which can then be connected to datasets via virtual barcodes, which reduces human error and accelerates workflow, with AI playing a crucial role in scaling data entry process. So, in addition, AI-generated 3D models, for example, enable interactive exploration of artifacts, also enhancing European data space for cultural heritage and cultural heritage cloud, and this not only supports digital preservation strategies, but also foster deeper public engagement with collections, ultimately enriching the museum's online presence and mission. Because what's global, what's online, it's global. And to name only a few very recent cases on AI transforming museum experiences, this Wolfsonian platform provides excellent examples of how they used AI in their transformative potential in the museum sector. Also, museum innovation technologies, another example, how to create a museum management software that offers comprehensive management of museums, collections, archives, exhibits, and visitor services. So please visit those websites if you would like to learn more. And concluding, AI is emerging as a transformative tool in the GLAM sector, offering new opportunities for cultural engagement and preservation. However, this technology also presents inherited risks, including biases in image recognition, potential copyright problems, deepfakes, and misinformation from automated systems, which could be tested and fixed. As vital community supporters, museums are very well positioned to facilitate and shape the responsible development of trustworthy AI. And rather than seeing this as a challenge, it represents an opportunity for museum sector to act and assume a critical role in society. Thank you for your attention.
So you've got to go to that microphone. Stephen White from the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions. It's fascinating the survey work that you've done with museums around this.
The National Lottery.
Yeah, so the Heritage Pulse work. Do you get any insights about what are the determinants of how involved a museum gets with AI? As we face similar questions within the library field, what is it that makes a museum or a library ready to seize the opportunity and actually try and take advantage of the possibilities that are there?
Well, actually, I really suggest to you to explore this source, which is Spotlight on AI UK Heritage Pulse, insightsislands.com. because then you can read the entire survey and the entire survey interpretation, which was quite extensive. So I only pick up the data that worked well for today gathering. But if you need more inside information, I would really suggest you to go to maybe also the author of the survey, which is based on at the University of Reading, United Kingdom, and Heritage Lottery Fund websites. Because I don't want to, misinterpret anything, as I believe that this subject is really important for us. No deepfakes. Yes, that was the survey for actually 154 institutions based in the UK around Heritage Lottery. And they've got a special name, which is UK Heritage Pulse.
I have a question, very nice talk. I have a question concerning, you are from the UK.
Yeah. And for now.
Okay. But, so I have a question concerning like the policies that apply to AI now in the UK and the US. They are the same one or there are differences?
No, actually.
And can this later influence the way of teaching AI, safety, and so on in the museum or something like that? Because maybe the approach will not be the same considering this type of policy. So what is your view on this?
I think it's very interesting. Actually, the teaching of AI, programming, machine learning, this is teaching. So we are teaching students, the method and skills, how to program. However, the policies are about, actually we are discussing here today, are about using AI in the public sector, which obviously is a more complex thing because public sectors are governmental funded units very often. So this is like a completely different universe. And actually that's a very good question about how to merge those like two silos closer and making them communicate and work together. So that's actually a question that requires a huge strategy that we probably need to work on. But in UK, there's still no centralized policy or hub like actually we have in the European Union. I'm saying we because I'm from European Union. This Office for Artificial Intelligence that we have in the European Union, it's still without any counterpart in the UK. So in the UK, it's still all information recommendations are based on touch like policy, based on good practice, case studies. But because I work with museum sector very intensively, I really can say that some museums are not interested because of this lack of digital maturity and digital skills.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Sophie Kovash from the Austrian Ministry for Culture and also fellow St. Hungarian. Thank you so much for coming here. I'm interested in the PhD program that you have introduced to us, which focuses on digital skills and art history. And I'm wondering if that program also has an effect on the other study programs, and if that also has some effect on the general landscape of art historical study in the UK, or is it just sort of like a one-off and hopefully it'll kickstart something at other universities in the UK, in Europe? Because there is also a big focus in Austria on establishing programs that focus on digital cultural heritage. And some of the universities are getting started with this, so I'd be very interested to hear some input on that. Thanks.
Oh, great, thank you. Well, actually, I collaborated a lot with Ludwig Bosman Institute in Austria, so actually I know the inside of digital industry in Austria as well. However, this program is very new. In October, we literally started the very first run of this program, and we finished recording our sessions in August. So we hope that it will attract as many students, international students, as possible. So for now, we do not have any surveys or any impact measurements to really say whether it works and what's the impact, because that's the very first semester, which is actually ongoing. But I also applied a lot of digital products like 3D models, some analysis based on point clouds, or tools, digital tools like Voyant and Vivo for statistical digital text mining. So students are actually, we may distinguish two groups. Enthusiasts and students who even don't want to start because they think, oh, that this is digital, so it's not for me because I'm art historian. I want to spend my life with paintings. I don't want to have, you know, computers or all those like programming code skills in my hand because I'm not interested. And even with my PhD student, actually we have quite a long journey when I was convincing her to start learning and gather skills in digital data sets, because this is so useful and this paved her career in the future in the museum sector, because we are, you know, we are undergoing this transformation so radical, so quickly. So there is a big hesitation that might be observed, but I think it again needs a good strategy, maybe good advertisement, you know, management to talk to students in their language, the way what they need to hear from us, how it may help them with building their career, rather than explaining that we need to enhance AI because we need to create better metadata.
Thank you. Any other question? Here's the last one, is going to be Claudia.
So, hello, I'm Claudia from the local organizers, and in fact it's not going to be a question, just acknowledgement and big thank you for mentioning the F for culture, because we wanted, when designing this conference, we wanted to invite some of the project representatives, but we couldn't reach out, and so I'd just like to thank you for mentioning this very important initiative, and I hope that this project will make more promotion, so that the news from this nice initiatives can get to most of our colleagues. So thank you again for bringing this up.
Thank you. I also hope it gets enough promotion, so you know the actually museums, small institutions for which this project is addressed will understand and have opportunity to learn about this great opportunity. Because also the survey shows that, for example, volunteer-based institutions don't use AI totally, like 0%. So actually platforms like this, which is open source free, it's dedicated to such institutions. But again, how to approach these people and convince them? I think that this is, you know, our goal, our aim, to think of and create strategies maybe for it, how to approach small institutions and convince them to collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again.